on? Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Football Safe Space. I'm 7 o'clock, and I'm accompanied from my brother, from another brother, Brother Fox. What's going on?
Hey, I'm blessed on this election day. Hopefully, if you have not voted, get your butt out there, do your American duty, and vote, my brothers and sisters.
I feel it. I feel it. This is a show catered to those that want to come laugh, cry, and vent all of their fantasy sorrows away. This is a show presented to you by the Fantasy Shot Callers. And before we get into it, Brother Fox, how can the good folks take care of us?
As always, you guys can give us that HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly, truly goes a long way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Traditionally, we usually have a third. He cannot make it with us. He's actually armed guard of Wakanda. Nah, he's in North Carolina holding down the poll. So shout out to Big E. You were here in spirit. We're gonna hold it down
Yes,
for you.
sir.
Probably gonna be a slightly shorter episode without him, but we're gonna hold it down nonetheless. Who hurt you?
We'll start with who hurt you. So this week it was just two. I actually had both like my teams, and I had all dubs this week.
Okay.
I'm number one in both leagues. Not trying to,
You the throwing low?
Tap myself on the shoulder here.
You the throwing low?
I'm going for the yes, sir.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the thrown low. So the people who hurt me this week, Jordan Love, 10.9 points. He hurt me in multiple leagues. No touchdowns, and he threw a pick. I honestly think single-handedly he lost the game for the reason why they weren't as competitive against the Lions. It was Jordan Love didn't show out, and it's just it is what it is. And other than that,
you can't turn the ball over before halftime. That was
Exactly.
costly, and it's mistakes like that is why they won't beat Detroit. Probably won't beat San Francisco when it matters, and may not beat the Commanders, or maybe even the Eagles.
Honestly, last year that playoff game, they should have beat the 49ers to go to the NFC Championship. But again, it's Jordan Love making these airheaded plays, and he's incredibly talented. I think one of the best throwers of football in the league, a top 5. I truly feel like, but his mistakes is just. He has a lot more Brett Favre in him than he does Aaron Rodgers. He might throw like Aaron Rodgers, but hey, it's a lot of times it's in the trouble. So,
he leads the NFL in interceptions, and he's missed 2 games.
Yeah. Sorry. Other than that, DJ Moore. Where's DJ Moore been? He's been incognito. We talked about this offline, but there's a video going viral. DJ Moore took a play off. He was mid-route. It looked like there was a little bit of pressure on Williams. Williams rolled out. DJ Moore walked off the field, walked onto the bench. So, yeah, it was kind of rough. But
I think I sent that to you, and I was thinking to myself, like, oh, maybe he's hurt. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He walks right back in the next play. And I would have tried to move him personally before the trade deadline. They could still got a first or either – a second and a fourth for him, but Bears gonna bear. You good?
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Apologies. Pause it. I'll carry. Who hurt me? Jared Goff, and it was the weather. You can't expect a whole lot from him. St. Brown is still proven to be that guy. I want to say 6 consecutive weeks with a touchdown. Kelsey starting to come back, Mahomes starting to come back. Now I got to choose between Mahomes and Goff, and just really got to play matchups. I didn't think he was going to ball like that against Tampa. Tampa's defense is pretty decent, plus the weather, but he got it done. I've been scrambling for running backs, so I didn't get to see what Bucky Irving did, but I hate my squad in your league. That when the internet went out and I wasn't able to draft for 2 or 3 rounds, that screwed me. You on mute, or you not loaded?
Yeah, sorry, no. Bucky was 7 carries, 24 yards. Yeah, it's truth be told, it's to the point now. There's been enough stats. If you have a running back and they're playing against the Chiefs, you shouldn't start them. The only person who's even put up remotely decent yards was Week 1, Derrick Henry, and he only got, I believe, 49. They had 150 rushing yards, but the majority of it was a quarterback. Lamar. It was Lamar running. So other than that, we've shut down Bijan, we shut down everybody. So it's to the point now. If you have a running back and you're playing against Kansas City, it's time to sit him.
Get Jonathan back. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to? Oh, I did talked about Goff.
Oh,
oof. It was a rain game, and I didn't know if I should start him or Mahomes. And Mahomes, prior to this game, was like quarterback 20.
Did I not tell you? I said last week, Kansas City has a weak schedule coming. Don't give up. And I'm gonna pat myself on the back here. Last week, when I said waiver wire pickups is somebody to pick up, I jumped back in and I said, go get Case Ottom if he is available in your league. I said he's playing against Kansas City. Kansas City has given up the most points to tight ends this season. And sure enough, Ottom has 7 catches for 69 yards and a tub. It's just if there's a decent tight end playing against Kansas City, he's gonna eat.
No, don't start your running backs versus Kansas City. Start your tight ends versus Kansas City.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's see. What do you think of the Ravens this week? They looked incredible.
They played the Broncos, and I think the Broncos
are 5-3 coming into the
that's fool's gold. That's fool's gold. There's Broncos right here, and Pittsburgh is right here. Like, they're not real contenders. Like, Broncos probably still won't make the playoffs, in my opinion. Pittsburgh will probably be the 7-6 seed. I don't believe the Broncos are legit, personally.
Okay. I think we'll find out a lot about that. They're playing at Kansas City next week, so we'll find out if they actually are contenders. If they get blown out, Kansas City hasn't blown out nobody this year, so we
single digits. I remember you said that about Philly.
Yeah,
hey, they just got a bunch of single-digit wins.
Nobody.
Yeah, hey, dub is a dub.
Hey, a dub is a dub, and I don't want to jinx my Chiefs here, but Kansas City has gone 316 days without losing a football game. Almost a full calendar year. Ain't that fucking crazy? 14 consecutive wins going back to last year, Christmas Day. That ain't bad, player.
I need a Raider in here, bro. That's enough. Personally.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go to the waiver wire. Let's go to the waiver wire this week.
What you got for us?
So again, it's slim pickings this time of the year, but there are some late buys. Green Bay's one of them. So it looks like if he's still only in 47.8% of leagues. Cedric Tillman, a wide receiver from Cleveland. Even though Jameis Winston threw 3 interceptions last week,
started that Chargers defense.
Yeah, even though he threw 3 interceptions last week, he still was the de facto number 1 target there in Cleveland. And I believe he got 9 targets. And, if you get 9 targets, you're generally going to put up some decent numbers no matter what your offense is. Xavier Legette, he's only rostered in 32% of leagues. But with the recent trades, especially to not only to Mingo that went to the Cowboys today, but with Deontay Johnson, he is the de facto wide receiver in that offense. It does appear, although they haven't put up great numbers yet, it does appear that him and the quarterback have a decent connection. So, I see that he's going to continue to blossom. This is going deep down in your bag. It's very hit or miss, but Quentin Johnston from the Chargers, he's very touchdown dependent. But he caught 4 passes for 118 in a tub last week, and so just there's going to be days that he goes off, and then there's going to be days that he does absolutely nothing. And you want to hope that it's one of those days that you can depend on him. But if you really need a receiver, if you're hurting that bad, there's a lot of injuries. If you're hurting that bad, he might be worth a roster spot.
For sure.
And last but not least, if he is still available, which he is in over 70% of leagues, Matthew Stafford. His receivers are finally healthy.
Yeah.
You know, he finally has Cooper Kupp. He has albeit he was kicked out of the game last week. Puka Nakua's back, and Demarcus Robinson was balling. He's out there. He scored 2 tubs last week and a tub the week before. So it's time to have Matthew Stafford on the roster, especially with some of these upcoming late buys. So yeah, those are my 4.
I feel you on that. What about to play defense for the Dak owners? You know, Dak is going to be out for probably 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks. Stafford is an excellent replacement. But also, if you stingy like 7, you could play defense. I got Jaden Daniels, but I just don't want you as a Dak owner to get a suitable quarterback. So I'm going to pick up Stafford and be grimy like that.
Facts. Jalen Tolbert actually might be a decent pickup too, being as there's still questions out there with their not only their quarterback situation, but CeeDee Lamb hurt his shoulder in the 4th quarter. So he did return to the game. But
what did Tolbert do?
Let's see. What did he do last week?
I thought you had it in front of you. My bad.
No, I don't have it in front of me. But you know, honestly, he's out there with, even when CeeDee Lamb is out there, he's getting between 5 to 7 targets. So you can naturally assume that if CD is out in any capacity, CD sees the most targets in the league. He sees 14 a game. So, you know, if CD is not out there, that's additional targets that it could be out there. So, and Cooper Rush seems to run the exact same offense that they run for Dak. They don't change it up. They don't pass less just because Cooper Rush is out there. So, you know, again, don't hold me to the fire on that one. But I still feel like Matthew Stafford must pick up. Even if you want to block somebody else from getting him in your league, Cedric Tillman and Xavier Legette. Those are the pickups of the week this week.
I like it. This is the part of the show where Big E would normally do his dirt and mud list. I'm trying to think who really stunk it up. Derek Carr, maybe separate from fantasy. I don't think anyone's starting him, but him and Dennis Allen just not a good marriage, dude. Like, what's the saying? Shame on you. You fool me once, shame on me.
Fool me twice. You can't get fooled again,
bruh. Like Dennis Allen, go down on the sword, bruh. Like, it's just wild. Like, of all the quarterbacks, twice. Yeah. And I still don't know what happens with the Saints. I thought they would offload a lot more than Lattimore. You know, I mean, you can't really trade Olave when he's in concussion protocol. But what's the one, the D lineman with the raccoon eyes?
Cam Jordan.
Cam Jordan. I thought he would have been moved. I thought Lattimore was going to move.
Yeah, I thought a lot more people. I thought Willie Gay
might get moved. Like, this is their opportunity to get under the cap. I feel like they've been over the cap since Sean Payton was there. You know, or at least one of the worst cap situations.
Let's talk about it. So, coming into next year, so now the Saints are going to have to hire a new head coach. And the new head coach is coming into a situation where, as of right now, even after the Marshawn Lattimore trade, they're over $50 million over the cap for next season. That doesn't count. And I believe that they have almost 18 or 19 players who are going to be free agents coming into this offseason. They have no money to re-sign any of their homegrown talent. You know, apparently Olave is pissed about not only his targets, but how they've been utilizing him in the offense, and sounds like he wants to move on. Like, that might be the worst job on paper in the league. I'd rather be the head coach of the Raiders than be the head coach of the Saints.
Why are you going to bring the Raiders into this?
Hey, AFC West. Hate. But nah, that's a really terrible situation. Sean Payton effed them over and just gave them the deuces.
Yeah, you know, he did, and he doesn't get any flack for it at all. And he doesn't get flack for what he did to Russell Wilson last year. Because Russell Wilson wasn't a bad quarterback last year, despite the organization kind of plotting against him.
Facts.
Right. And they did such a good job of plotting against him that people didn't think he was better than Justin Fields.
True.
Like they
No,
sabotaged that man so bad that like people
yeah,
actually thought a guy who couldn't throw the ball for more than 200 yards per game was better than him. So it's just wild.
yeah, it is. Hey, the NFL, the power of the media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so back to the mud list. People who didn't show out this year. We just mentioned Chris Olave. He did get hurt with a concussion, his fifth
Yeah.
one in his short time in the league, but he only put up 2.3. Marvin Harrison Jr., what is up? Like, talk about swing and a miss. There were people drafting him late first round, early second round. This man played. He hasn't been hurt. He's been healthy all season. He had 5 targets, 2 catches, 34 yards. That's it. And he fumbled. He had a lost fumble. One of those cats. Like 3.4 points. Tyrone Tracy, running back from the Giants.
Yeah.
He didn't show up either. And it upsets me when I see like someone like Tyrone Tracy. This is your chance, bro. This is your opportunity. This might be your one chance in your NFL career that you're a starter. Albeit their offensive line is shit. It is. But you gotta make the best of this, bro. You better you better be scrambling for every extra yard, every extra inch. There shouldn't be games where you have 69 total yards, bro. Like if you playing every down, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
He did really good versus Pittsburgh on that Monday night,
He did.
and you couldn't repeat the same performance.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Nick Chubb. What is
he?
I saw he's averaging, albeit he just came back 2 weeks ago. He's averaging the least amount for a starting running back that has run over 60 carries this season. He's averaging like 2.1 yards.
Not the same guy. Bro, Minkah Fitzpatrick left that man with like just hanging off the bone, bro. What did people really expect from him? And like the team sucks.
Yeah.
Jameis was a flash in the pan for 1 week. Team went back to being poop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy as it sounds. Yeah, it's wild. And then let's see. Puka Nacua getting kicked out, throwing a punch. Puka, come on, you got to do better than that. CJ Stroud, what is the regression with CJ Stroud? I get it. You don't have all your wide receivers.
O-line trash.
He doesn't look like the same quarterback.
He's been sacked the most since any quarterback in the league since he's entered. It's in the last 2 years.
Yeah, which is, I guess that explains it all right there.
Hey, and you got a good running back.
Yeah. Yeah, their offensive line just doesn't look like there's any cohesion. They don't get along. They're not producing nothing.
We got one from our
Al.
brother from another.
What up, Al?
Hopefully you're doing well, man. Hit us up with a question. What you got for us?
Yes, sir. Let's see. I'm looking to see if anybody else underperformed. Tank Bigsby. I thought Tank Bigsby was ascending to be the number 1 running back in that Jacksonville offense. But it appears that there must have been some kind of injury with Etienne. And now that he's getting slightly healthier, he's getting more carries now. And so you Tank Bigsby just he's fading. He's fading hard. He had 8 carries for 22 yards and wasn't even out there on third downs. It's just
question for you. Why didn't the Jags trade Etienne? They didn't pick him up that 5th-year option, correct?
They did not. I thought the Jags would be more active.
They're not making the playoffs. So you're just gonna let them walk for free?
Yeah, they're sounds like they're just gonna let him walk for free, or if he actually lights it up at the end of the season, they're going to end up overpaying to keep him. I don't see Etienne returning. Yeah, I don't see Etienne returning at all. And I think they're going to be under some serious scrutiny this offseason. Hell, Doug Peterson might lose his job.
Yeah. Yeah. And they had a chance to beat Philly Sunday. Trevor
Well, yeah,
Lawrence, regression.
Philly was up 22 or 23 to nothing. And
Wow.
they just kind of took the foot off the pedal, and the Jags started coming back. But yeah, it was an ugly game.
Yeah.
Ugly game.
The weather was really made it a bad week for fantasy football.
It did. It did. This has been a weird season all around. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, yeah, it's been rough. Been rough for a lot of people. Keon Coleman, another one, didn't show up. He had one catch for 21 yards. He did get hurt. But it's hard out here for a pimp.
Yeah, it is.
Hard out here.
And that's difficult, especially after back-to-back solid weeks. You thought you could probably trust him finally.
Exactly. Other than that, I don't really see anybody else that just did not perform at all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's hard out here. Oh, I guess you could say Hockenson. People who held on to Hockenson for all these weeks, you would assume that, hell, now that he's healthy, you could put him back in the starting position. You probably have a shitty backup anyway. And he 3 catches for 27 yards? That's some early season Travis Kelce numbers.
Yeah. Hey, 5.7. That's about best you can get. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, we got one. Hey, guys, quick question here. Should I trade Josh Downs for Rachaad White?
White's not getting out. He's that 3-headed monster with the Bucs it's rough. Like Rachaad White, his numbers are, I want to say he had like 4 or 5 carries against the Chiefs, and one was for a tub, but it was kind of like,
yeah. I only have James Cook, and for receiver I have JJ, Amon-Ra, Adams, Jacoby Myers. Yeah, you got to do it. You don't have no choice. If Cook is your only viable option, you got to do it. He's not going to start Downs over JJ, Amon-Ra, or Adams anyway. Yeah. And since the departure of Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers has actually been pretty solid. I think he got me 18, and then I think he had maybe 8 receptions for 80 yards. So he might have had like 16. So he's averaging at least 14, 15 a game. That's at least flex play. Do the trade. You don't really have no choice. I would try to get someone better than White.
Yeah, I would try to get Bucky Irving in that offense because he seems like the only true productive running back consistently. So,
hey, we appreciate you. We'll be back every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I had a question for you too, and now I blanked on it.
I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Any of the trades that happened today or in the past week, do you feel will be the most beneficial for fantasy players?
Well, I mean, you got to go with Hopkins. I mean, we've already seen the proof, and I hate to keep talking about your team, but it is what it is. I mean, he looks good, and he hasn't even been there for 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Week and a half.
Yeah, week and a half. The Khalil Herbert one is a head scratcher because Chase Brown's playing quality ball, and maybe that's just to have a quality backup because Zach Moss ain't the guy.
Well, Zach Moss got put on IR today, so
okay. Well, yeah. So there you go. I didn't see that. The Mike Williams one doesn't really move me. We know who Mike Williams is. Mike Williams is. I'm not going to do anything for 2 games. In that 3rd game, I'll go for a 150 in the biscuit, but I'll get hurt making a spectacular sideline catch. And I'll go into the blue tent, and then I'll come back, and I'll go back on a milk carton for the next 2 to 3 weeks.
I agree.
So
I do feel like as random as it sounds, getting Za'Darius Smith on the Lions, I feel like it's going to increase their pass rush, and it makes their even though their division is pretty difficult, it makes their defense viable as a fantasy start.
Best trade of the day. Was they got him for a 7th?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think they got him for a 6. It was, but they gave up Za'Darius and a 7 to get a 6, bro. Like, what are the Browns doing, bro? What are they? The Browns going brown, bro.
There's always gonna be a market for an edge rusher, bro. Like, you could have got more than that. I thought the Lattimore one was good. I thought Washington gave up too much, but I thought it was a good pickup for them and a need.
Yeah, honestly, great pickup, great even fit for what he does, like his style of cornerback. But yeah, like you said, they gave up too much. Like, I know they're having a good season and they're with 7-2, but to give up, what do they give up? A third, fourth, and a 6th. And they gave up Lattimore and a pick. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, that one, I felt like a third might have been the most. Yeah. Maybe even a 4th and a 5th, but because you got receivers going for a third. So you're gonna have an older cornerback go for more than a third. That was a head scratcher for me.
An older cornerback that's been hurt frequently. True. He's good when he's healthy, but he ain't healthy that often. So
obviously, but we can wrap up with the worst signing of the day. Mingo to Dallas. I said it. I got hell for it. And I'll say it again. The Cowboys will win a Super Bowl when Jerry Jones passes away. Give him 3 or 4 years. I don't care. I'll take the smoke for it. He's haunting that team. Haunting. They will be competitive and win a Super Bowl 4 years after he passes. That's the window, 1 to 4 years.
I get it. Mingo was a 2nd-round draft pick just last year, 2023. But it's also telling if a team is willing to give up on him that quickly. And for you to trade, they gave up a 4th-round draft pick. They gave up more than what Hopkins was traded for. What Deontay Johnson was traded for.
Mike Williams.
It's ridiculous. Mike Williams. It's insane.
Amari Cooper.
What was it? 3 years ago, they traded Amari Cooper to the Browns for a 6th-round draft pick, and Amari was just flipped 3 years later for a 3rd. What are the Cowboys doing, bro?
It's just wild card, and that's good enough. He's selling entertainment. He's not selling victories right now. Remember, you're a Dallas Mavericks fan. Mark Cuban was doing too much, always dancing in the video, and that's why Mavericks wasn't winning those ships. He got his act together. Dirk could do what Dirk needed to do. No distractions. Dallas won. Now the football team needs to get rid of the owner, bro. He just needs to step aside.
Which will never happen. We know
never. I know we can't talk trash because he's a multi-millionaire billionaire, but I'm a better GM than him. I say it with my chest.
He's rough. I don't know what they're doing. I truly don't know what they're doing, and they're going to be in cap hell the next few years. Good luck. Good luck.
I'm going to enjoy it too. I'm going to enjoy it. It's been a pleasure, brother. How can the good folks take care of us before we wrap up?
As always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you don't know what the HBO special is, it's the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly goes a long way.
That concludes another episode of Fantasy Football Safe Space. I'm 7 o'clock. That was my brother from another mother, Brother Fox. We'll see you guys next week, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Peace.
Go Chiefs.